Hello, good evening, everyone. You're welcome to SwapMoney's maiden edition of the webinar series. We're excited to have you. I hope everyone is as excited as I am excited. This is our first in the series of our webinar, and we are so delighted to have you here. My name is Busola Onomusi. I'm head of marketing for SwapMoney, and this is our first in series in our entrepreneurship webinar. And the webinar is about entrepreneurship in UK, navigating for success. The webinar promises to be exciting, informative, and educative. We have our special guest here, Mr. Sheikh Makode is here. I can see him. He's going to be sharing his life, entrepreneurship journey with us, and he'll be telling us some bits around how he has been able to navigate the world of entrepreneurship in the UK and be able to be successful at it. Not just being navigating, also being successful at it. Thank you everyone for joining at this time. We are excited to have you. I mean, I promise to make sure this the entire time you spend with us will be worth it. And next time we call you, you'll always be here. Thank you very much. So before I start, this is SwapMoney. I would like to just give a bit around what we do, we have, and what we do. So SwapMoney is a money service business that helps you to remit money across the world. We are licensed in UK and Canada. We help you to send money across the world at zero cost. For SwapMoney, we do much more than we work with different. Our vision is to build an ecosystem where businesses and individuals receive best value for their transactions globally. We also help you connect the world. We can do we can send money across the world to over 100 countries and in over 20 currencies. We work with both individual and corporate bodies. In terms of instant transfer, we're sure to provide that service for you. We also offer the best rates in the UK for anywhere you want to send money to. In terms of licensing, like I said earlier, we're licensed in UK, we're also licensed in Canada. We're transparent. What you see is what you get. We don't have any hidden charges. When we tell you that we'll offer you the best rate, we will offer you the best rate. When we tell you that it's this is the value you're getting, this is the value you're getting. In terms of social media handles, you can join us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and you can refer your friend on our platforms. You can scan our QR. There's different ways you can reach out to us. We have a special offer for you today, but that's not the reason why you're here. We're here because of the webinar. So I just want to dive in straight to speak to Mr. Shegun Akode. He's here now. So Mr. Shegun Akode. Hello. So
hi, good evening. How are you? How are we
good
doing today?
evening. We're happy to see you. Welcome to SwapMoney webinar. So just want to read through about who he is and why we brought him here to tell us about him.
Do you have the updated version?
Okay, so maybe she's just gonna
No,
tell us.
don't worry, carry on.
I was just gonna read. I'm not gonna tell you all. I'm going to read everything about you. You're just gonna read. That's like a summary. You're going to share your own journey with us. So just a little bit about what we have about you, and you will be the one sharing your journey.
No problem. No worries. Thank you very much.
All right. So who is Mr. Shegun Akande? As you all know, is the CEO of Sammy's, and beyond that, he's done quite a number of things. I will just be just reading his profile. He's a co-founder of and the director of Sammy's Online. His name is Olusegun Akande, an Afro-Carribean retail and e-commerce food business. Olusegun and his wife Oyetola launched the business in 2009 after noticing a lack of original Afro-Caribbean ingredients to buy in the UK. Success of the cash and carry business led to the entrepreneur to create his own line of products, including seasons, rice, flour, and beans under the brand of Pride of Africa and Old Africa. He has since launched many businesses, such as Sammy's African Foods Online, where he sells to both UK and even within Europe. He has Empress. He also has a restaurant and a bar called Empress Bar and Grill. He has OAT Meals, where he makes ready-made meals available for anyone within the UK. And he has so many businesses. He's a philanthropist. He does quite a number of things. So I will just leave him to do the remaining part of the talking, because really it won't be about me talking about him more than even the person that has the story himself. So, Mr. Shegan Kwade, would like to put on your camera so that we can see you. So just tell us about your journey, who you are, and about your journey.
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much. Switch camera. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I'm about to borrow my son's iPad because I forgot my laptop battery at work, and my battery on the laptop is gonna die. So I kind of thought I will just get on this, and I don't know where the video is. Sorry.
So carry on, that's fine.
Right. Well, my name is Olusegun Akonde, and thank you for the little intro. You wanted me to share a little bit more about myself? Was that what it is? Or did you start with the first question, or sorry?
My question is about you and your journey. So just tell us a bit about yourself and your journey into the entrepreneurship.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. To a lot of people that don't know me, I'm the one, I call myself the tomato seller. Okay. Because all I do is sell tomato and onions. Okay. And it's going to inspire a book in the nearest future. Olusegun Akonde, the tomato seller. Yes, well, my journey. The day you decide to drop everything, 9 to 5, everything, working for somebody else or working for a company or working in an industry of some sorts, and waiting for the end of the month to get your payroll and everything, the day you drop all of that, and then the day you say to yourself, this is what I want to do, this is an idea, or this is a business or anything that I want to do for myself, that I'm going to be ultimately responsible for 100%. That's the day your entrepreneurship journey started. And mine started, I think, 2010, when I was out of a job. I didn't have a job. I didn't know, oh yeah, hey, it's worked. How did it work? That was magical. Even SwapMoney showing behind me. Sorry, I'm very local at that. Like I said, I'm a tomato seller. So I was like, what's happening? I'm shocked. Anyways, fine. Okay. You're fintech anyway, so you have technology backing you. So very impressive. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, I didn't have a job, and obviously I didn't know how I was going to feed my family the coming month, and I kind of just looked within and what I thought I had as my own innate abilities and quality in terms of my relentlessness and my die-hard street hustling abilities. Picked up a van, do deliveries here and there. And yeah, I kind of stumbled upon the times that I've shared conversations out there. I've always had to mention my mentor's name, Mr. Michael Adedipe of Addies in London. Stumbled upon him, helped me with the first sort of set of products that I brought into Birmingham to trade with. And yes, and my entrepreneurship journey kind of started from there. And then it's kind of just evolved into us, being who we are today. We're Samis, we are Pride of Africa Foods, we're Empress Bar and Grill, we're OET Meals, we're a lot of things. And it all just started just a little over a decade ago. Thank you very much. I don't know if that speaks to a little bit of an intro that you wanted me to do. Hello?
Thanks, it does. So okay. Some of our customers have been here for a while, and some of them are, new into the UK. So Um, there's a lot of challenges, facing the business. We know doesn't like business is not just about kick and start. You just start business and you just start going. So can you share some of the challenges you faced when you began your entrepreneurship journey in UK? Some of them are like peculiar to, UK. So just tell us, as an immigrant starting business, everybody would just go to 9 to 5, like you said, because it meets your basic needs. So tell us.
Well, thank you. To be honest, business is business. I don't think business is still ever going to be for everybody. I think, there's everything around us makes the world go round. Even the 9 to 5 is not like it isn't the ultimate. There are a lot of people on the 9 to 5s and on the job spectrum that are millionaires because they're either VPs or they have ideas or they are the level where they're at. Sort of, they've bought into the shares of a Fortune 500 company, and they're still 9 to 5. It's not like they have other businesses or anything. They're directors, they're presidents, and they're also. So, but in terms of coming to the UK, for example, as you sort of addressed it to probably new entrants and people that are just coming in and looking for what to do. I think the first challenge is identifying exactly what it is that you want to start your business about. That in itself is a challenge because you have to first know what it is. You have to then identify it as a need, to cater for whether a community or it would largely be for a community, regardless of
Yeah.
what you want to do. And then when you then do that, then it's everything about planning it out. And then when you then even plan it out, then you've got to, in the economic world and in the educational world, they say things about the SWOT analysis and all that, where you sort of break it down, have a business plan, see how all of those things are going to pan out. But then ultimately, there's a question of the funds, because money makes the world breathe, money makes the world tick. You've got to find funding. It's either you're loaded yourself or you can self-fund, or you have to package your idea enough to either you're getting debt funding, and debt funding is loans and credit facilities from maybe banks, or if anything at all. And the world we live in right now that has evolved so much that you have the likes of the angel investors, you have crowdfunding, you have equity investors, and then, if it's a brilliant big idea like the fintech space where you can get VCs to invest in you. Again, first and most important challenge I would believe anybody would readily have is, what's that thing that you want to do? And if there's a need for it. And if there's no need for it, then obviously it can't be a business, but then you identify that there's a need for it. And then from then on, you can start to flesh it out. It starts to make sense to you exactly what you want to do.
All right, thanks, Mr. Akonde. And for those that are listening to watching us right now, so you can actually put the questions that you have for him on the Q&A button. There's a Q&A button down. You can look at it and just click on it and just put in your question. If you want it to be anonymous, you can go ahead and make it anonymous. And if you want to name it, that's fine. Just any question you have for him for this topic on entrepreneurship, we'll find to answer those questions for him. So I know you said something around, yes, most people's challenge is always around funding. Yes, beyond the funding, I think the idea too is very important, because you said that the reason why you started was because there was a need in particularly that sector. You found that in African food sector there was that need. That was why you looked at that need and said, okay, how can I, before even the money came up, of what do I need or what resources do I need to, to fulfill that need? The thing that came up for you was the need. So you just identifying that need is something that we always need to look at in starting a business. So is the need profitable? Is the need things that you would like to go into? So we've identified the need. You said something about
can I speak very quickly on the need? Because to be honest, we can talk about challenges, we can talk about even funding and all of that, but I think it's very critical that we probably dwell on what you call the need, because I've engaged quite a number of people, from the outset that has come into, again, the business space to start something for themselves, especially the African food sector. And then you find out that a lot of people's how they've come about the need is probably out of pure sentiments, not out of data or statistics that indeed says that, okay, yes, there's a need for this. You know, you've had people that come up and said, oh, I live in some random place, probably some fringe edge of the country in a town and in the locality, and they said, oh yeah, I have to go to London, I have to come to Birmingham, or I have to go to Luton or somewhere around me, you know, to get my African food. Have to buy my African food, but oh God, it's always a lot of journey. It's always a lot of things that I have to do to get in there. So I think and I believe that there needs to be an African store. I need to start an African business. So I asked the question, but because you had a need and you think that how many immigrants, how many people would buy into what you want to do in that area? Have you gone to your local council? Have you researched? Have you found out exactly what the numbers are? Because numbers don't lie. You know, you start up a business where it's probably very remote and it's only you and a few other people that maybe you met in church or you met at a birthday party and think, oh yeah, oh, all of us in this place, we need an African shop. You don't need an African shop because that business won't survive. So again, when you're identifying what the need is, you've got to be critical about it and say whether it really does serve a purpose and is really a need that will be impactful. Our own need was really the fact that I'd been on the road for a couple of years and I'll take requests from people and they want this and they want that and they want that and they want that. And sometimes I would have come back from London and then I'll get phone calls that said, oh, I need this, I need that. So I need Guinness, so I need more to Guinness, I need Star, I need that. Said, oh, sorry, I've just come back from London and I've distributed everything that I had orders for to go to London to bring back to Birmingham. So it meant that people then needed to wait another week before I go again because I'm not going to go every day. I'll go a couple of days and then I come back. Yeah. And then it was starting to become a bit more consistent in terms of what the requirement and what the demand was. Okay. But then in looking around, there were little shops around. But then little shops can only take so much. And then it meant also that they weren't meeting people's actual need because people then didn't have the time. They had work to go to. So they needed time to make out time to shop, to make out time a lot of things. So when they go shopping, they want to buy big, they want to buy bulk, they want to stock up for the whole of the month. But it's when doing that. And that was where the need came that, okay, actually, there needs to be a one-stop place of business in Birmingham that will take care of people's daily needs, weekly needs, monthly needs, to the extent that, you know, we save them from all that journey, traveling all over the world and need to stock up a great deal when they can just walk in on a daily basis to get to know what they needed. So yeah, that informed our own need and finding that gap in Birmingham when we started.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Beyond the need, you said the need. This is very important because even when you get the need, you also need to like you said, use data to support your needs. Just justify why beyond just you want it. There's a need for it. Data has to be there to support that need. Is there enough market? Will it be profitable? These are things that we need to look at to say if it's going to make sense in the end. So what about the other question I have for you is things around what your business has been quite impressive because in terms of the growth, number of businesses you've done, I know you didn't say all of it, but what you said what aspired you to become an entrepreneur, and are there specific skills or resources you found valuable in your journey?
Well, to be honest, for me, I'm the one of the most permit me to use the word unlearned person. I do not like to read. Even I struggled with university because I almost changed my course several times. I graduated in chemical engineering, and at some point I wanted to change course and all that because I can't sit down for like and how I've been reading stuff or going through stuff. As I have right now, I don't have an MSc, I don't have any doctorate, I don't have Shingbai, I just have my BSc that I graduated school from. So, and sorry, I just lost my
So
train
my
of thought.
question was, your skills, what are the skills that has
Yeah,
helped
so
you in this
yeah,
journey?
so in terms of that, what sort of helped me personally is my own personal attribute and personal outlook to life. And that is when when you can dream it, when you can see it, when you can almost see 5 years from today, when you can almost see 10 years from today. And then not only that, and you're relentless in delivering a service at the optimum level. Because for me, and I've always said this, it wasn't even the entrepreneur at the start of it, it was really never about money. It was about the philosophy that I had, that if whatever it was that I started or I did, if it was adequate, it was sufficient, it was effective, it was consistent, it was of highest quality, then I'm guaranteed that people are going to come back and do business with me again. And once you have consistency and your doors keeping open, and then people can come through your door, then the success that we talk about today in terms of the growth and everything else was only going to be guaranteed. You know, so in terms of skills, it's just my own interpersonal skills, my own relentlessness, my own hard work, my own hustle mentality, where, you know, you kind of just have to make it regardless of what it is, knowing that there's a lot that you had put into it and there was a lot that are at stake. And at the same time, also, what impact you want to make. And at the very end, at the end of it all, is it going to be something that can translate into being a legacy, being something that, you know, the world can relate to and people can talk about? And those were the things I call skills. I would just call them interpersonal skills. If it was about educational skills, that's even when it comes to every other thing that we talk about today in terms of what you need to know, that they weren't my thing. It was just me. It was just me in the business, and everything about me just came out and made the word business became for me.
All right. In UK is quite diverse. There's quite a number of customers. Now it's not just sometimes it's not just Nigerians that patronize you. There's Africans, even some people of not just people of color, different people patronize you. So how have you been able to connect with your customers? Beyond just your immediate Nigerian environment, what strategy have you used to effectively reach more people and diverse? Because now your business has to grow beyond just idea of going to London every week. You've been able to, how have you been able to, been able to connect more with your audience and your customers?
With us, you know, at the start, I think because we were able to, we looked at it from a community-based point of view, where it needed to be all encompassing. So, for example, I remembered very well that when people came in at the start, they would come, oh, even when you overhear them talking like, oh, I'm in a Nigerian shop. I'm like, no, this is not a Nigerian shop, this is an African shop. Because we ensured that even our product lines and our product offerings cut across the sub-Saharan Africa, Southern Africa, and Northern Africa. And so if you're Zimbabwean, we have something for you. If you're Congolese, we have something for you. If you're Cameroonian, we have something for you. If you're Ghanaian, we have something for you. If you're Ethiopian, we have something for you. If you are an Igbo person, we have something for you. If you're Northerner, we had something for you. And that was one of the things that was key to us. We didn't go like, okay, this is going to be a Nigerian store and everything. It needed to be an African store because we understood the demographics of the people that we had throughout the city in Birmingham. And because we're then able to have that extensive product offerings, it meant that, to be honest, at the start, now social media is still like a 4-5 years-ish kind of situation. I'm talking about a business that we started 2011. So it was really then, we would still print a lot of flyers. I can't even remember the last time we printed flyers. But we print flyers and then word of the mouth. But even at that, we were very conscious because I started to supply shopkeepers some of our product branding, but we're doing product branding and product packaging at the very start. So even before we started the cash and carry, Sam is also cash and carry. We kind of had already had a connect with the local businesses where I remember then the Birmingham wholesale market. I'll be there first thing 6 a.m. and delivering them catfish fillets and delivering them some ingredients, food ingredients that they could sell to other people because they had a lot more diverse people coming to them. So I was very weary that whatever we promoted and whatever we didn't conflict with the businesses that we're already trading with. So because of that, we weren't even making a lot of noise. Then we just wanted to have a good balance where we could still keep the trade element of things, and then we could proceed with the retail. So a lot of it was just that word of mouth connection. Oh, there's this place in Birmingham, because then we're in the middle. People from up north would have to travel through Birmingham to go to London.
Yeah.
So we were a stopgap for them. So they didn't have to go all the way. People in Birmingham were enjoying the fact that, okay, there's something in Birmingham that is big enough to take care of their needs. People in the West Midlands, the West Brom, the Walsall and all that, where literally was just a stone throw away for them. That was then. Now, social media, even now you have we have social media managers now, you have PR companies, you have all of those things that makes all that noise for you now. So yeah. Those are sort of the strategies and ways that we've been able to, get ourselves out there and let people. Sorry, what's it?
Okay, so the other thing I wanted to ask is about starting a business is an idea. Now, for you to get to the level of scaling, you require some level of formality. You can't just, so what would you say are the key legal things? I'm still coming back to the finance, but key legal things you need to ensure that your business is, that you need to put in place for people to just.
I think every sector, every business sector is guarded and guided by its own legislation.
Okay.
You guys are fintech now. You have to do your KYCs. You have to be all that compliance stuff, and where what is coming from, and who is giving what to who, and all of that. It's the same thing within the food industry where we are probably I always say
even much more regulated because it's for food.
We're so heavily legislated, it would shock you. We're so heavily legislated and regulated, from the local authority to the federal authority to all of those things. And I think what's really helped us, and I'm very proud to say this, is the fact that from the get-go, we were never going to cut corners. We were never going to do hide and seek with our business, because at the very start, we kind of knew that this needed to be something that is based on and founded on integrity, that we can hold our head high and then stand tall when anybody comes knocking on our door. So food safety, you'll be shocked at the amount of food safety hacks there are. To the packaging that you use, there's a legislation guiding it. The type of bag you have to use needs to be food grade, product of animal origin, allergens, all of those things. And you really have to be very aware. And what has further helped us is the fact that for every aspect of our business, as we evolved, we realized that we needed also to continue to be end-to-end. Because when you're end-to-end, you're in control. It's like your ecosystem that you talked about, where you would have some people, they just want to take money from this person and give it to another person. But the little I know about SwapMoney, your ecosystem is you can provide this service, you can provide that banking service, you can provide that service, and merge all up together. It's the same thing with what we do. In our business, we have what we call the ecosystem. So now we sell directly to consumers. In-store physically, we sell online. And then we also sell to traders, retailers and shopkeepers that goes ahead to start sort of a. But then even that, there's a regulation that says that, for example, the meat products, the meat, poultry, and fish products that a shopkeeper in, say, for example, Wolverhampton need to have in their shop, it needs to come from an approved meat cutting plant. If not, then traceability is an issue. Then they'll say to you, how did you get it? Where did you get it from? Where did you pack it from? And they can't trace it, so they can't sort of identify, the genuinity and the authenticity of that product. We also have that facility. We're approved on that level. Our restaurant is approved. Our ready meals are approved. Everything that we do in all of our business ventures is approved for the business that we do. And that's one very thing that is very key, that anything you're doing in this part of the world, because of rules and regulations and laws, your better option is to make sure that you understand within that industry what the legislations are, what the rule of laws are, and you abide by it and stick to it and do your very best to make sure that you conform and comply.
But generally, starting a business in UK, what are like the three-legged things that you need to have? Like
Well, you need to
top of your head, like what are the three-legged things?
You need to register your business.
Okay.
When you register your business, then you will have a history. You know where, so because you're seeking funding, you're going to the bank. They're going to ask you for your address. You're going to ask you for who you are. If you're registered, if you're not registered, nobody's going to deal with you because they don't know where to find you from. Again, with us, register your business, but then again, register with the company, like Companies House. Then when you go down the line and you're seeking credit facilities or you're keeping whatever it is, those are the things that people can look at. And then in our own case, for example, you've got to register with your local authority. Again, so that they know where you are, again, so that if there's something happening somewhere or something, they can look at you and make sure that you're serving.
Is that criteria for all businesses or just for your food industry business?
To be honest, food industry business, you share a little bit about SwapMoney before you could ever even come on to us and say to us, "Oh, this is who you are," and all that. You said you are licensed, right?
Yeah.
In the UK and Canada. Without that license, you can't trade, but you're not in control. You can't build the ecosystem that you're building without being licensed. So it's pretty much the same. This is why I said that to different industries, there's still that element and level of, again, what you said, legality. You can't trade a license. You'll be trading illegally without it. It's the same thing in the food industry. If you are a project management person or you want to start a consultancy firm, for you to be recognized and for you to be trusted, then you almost have to register with the regulatory body. Exactly. So you have, in some industries, you have the FCA, so banks and financial institutions are regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. So all of those things are like the key legal things you have to do. If you want to be straight, if you want to do your business right, if you want to start up and not look over your shoulder and not have somebody shut you down and say, okay, you've been doing this illegally or you're not permitted to do this, then you've got to find out within that industry what you have to abide by and register.
Yeah, thanks. So building a network of support, is crucial for entrepreneurs because sometimes it's not just what you know, your contemporaries in terms of the, like you said, local network. It might not just necessarily be even people in your industry, it could be other people. How have you built your own connection? I know you said something around your church. You mentioned church for the easy ones, but how have you been able to, how can you advise that somebody starting up? Because most of the people on this call, they're actually immigrants. And so how do you advise that, okay, you should start your own circle in terms of
honestly, starting a business these days is so easy. It's even easier than right now. You go on Instagram now, and then do sponsor that, and 5,000 people will know about your business as easy as ABC, honestly. And in terms of the days we're at now, it's a lot easier to start a business and get that connect or connection, for support for your business. In our own case, it's just a bit of everything, It's a bit of friends, families. It's a bit of, again, if you're a church person, you connect with people in your church. If you're a Muslim, you connect with people in your mosque. You go for parties, you go for events, you go for house parties, garden parties, and then you talk about your business. And then people say, "Oh, okay, all right, I didn't know. I'll tell my friend or do that." But these days, you have the e-commerce, you have the website, you have your socials, Facebook, you have your Twitter, you have your TikTok, all of those things that help you, that you necessarily don't even, you can start a business today and not, even your friends and families don't even have to, do business with you because you have 10,000, a million people out there that you can connect to. within 5 minutes. So yeah, to be honest, there's really not so much to really share in line with that. But I think more often than not, I'd like to just maybe throw a bit of light on what you actually kind of sometimes need to excel or succeed. So, for example, if you're in a business where you have to exchange goods, somebody needs to supply you before you go and do that. That's something that is very key, and that is the respect for other business people that you're dealing with. So, for example, your suppliers. If you're the ones that you get goods and you don't pay on time, then you're going to have. If you have the one that your integrity is almost questionable, and most times you do deals, you renegade on your views, you don't see it through, you don't fulfill your own terms in terms of what is required of you, then people see your phone call and they don't want to pick it. But if you're the guy that, before anything else, even before you start asking for credits, before you do that, you say, don't worry, let's do that. And when it comes to delivering, you deliver. You're the one that they want to do business with. They're the one that when there's a deal to be made or there's a product that is on offering that is cheaper or something that they think you can make a lot of money, you're the one that is going to come to. And that's another way, so you can have
trust.
Yeah, you can have support from the people that are buying from you. You can also have good support from people that are supplying you. And that is if you have a good relationship, you're reliable, you're responsible, you're always there, you're not running away from your creditors, and then you're there, even with your bank, with everything else. For example, if you're always, the bank is always having to chase you to make your repayments and everything else. By the time you finish repaying, you go again, they won't listen to you because they blacklist you. Suppliers also blacklist people. There are some people right now, they call me, I won't even take their call because I know it's always going to be a headache. So it's like that as well. So you need support on both sides of the aisle. People that are buying from you, people that you're trading with to help your business.
From both your suppliers and your customers. So someone is asking a question around, what's the role of mentorship play in this journey?
It's the most important. I would always say if about a few podcasts that a few seminars, the one thing I always am on is mentorship. Even as I am right now, I'm still on that mentorship. Like I said, I mentioned my Oga's name. I think I still called him today.
Yeah, he said Ades.
Yeah, and I think I still called him today. And we could be on the phone for the next hour. And we'll just be talking about different things. There was a time I said to him, I think when we sort of clocked about maybe 20 staff, and then he probably had like maybe 150 or 200 or something. How do you do it, sir? With these 20 people, they're going to kill me. How do you do 200 plus people? And we talk about things like that.
Yeah.
Last year, I said to you, I've been with you like for however long, and I haven't had a day with you. And there was an exhibition in Paris. I said, let's go to Paris. And then we took ourselves away. I took myself away from business, took myself away from business. And when in Paris, we spent the day together, had dinner, and we spoke about a lot of things. A lot of the things that we spoke about today is manifesting itself. Spoke about them last year. It's manifesting itself today. Is informing part of a bigger project that we're getting into shortly as well. And I'm still talking over a decade. So sometimes I know somebody for over 10 years. You don't then just think, I know it all now.
I'm taking for granted.
Yeah, I know it all now. I'm a man on my own. I've got this many staff. I've got this many business and all that. Forget to. We still will have that chat. You'll be funny that there was a day I said to him, like, okay, so the rich also Christ. What I mean is he actually came. We had a conversation one day and he was telling me everything about his own sort of, challenges and everything. I'm like, So even when it comes to mentorship, it's even reverse, because even your mentor sometimes it needs to be, it needs to be encouraged.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's very critical. You can almost do no wrong. Because whoever you've identified as a role model, as a mentorship, has been there before. And they have a deep wealth of experience and knowledge to guide you so that you don't make some of the mistakes that they've made. Sometimes like you really don't have to make a lot of mistakes for you to find your path and for you to do well in life. And that is what mentorship does. So personally, I believe that every single person should have their own personal mentor. But then there are other things you can get. I listen to podcasts these days. I listen to Stephen Bartlett a lot now because of a lot of people that he interviews and talks to. I do more of listening because, like I said, I don't like reading. You give me a book now, I don't think I've ever read one book from front to end in my life before, but I listened a lot. I listened to audiobooks and I listen to experiences and sharing all of that. But then again, within what you want to do. So I'm putting out there, even if it is that you want a consultancy, and I'm using the word consultancy because this is about people wanting to start their own thing.
Yeah.
So if you are like an IT expert, you can still do a 9-to-5 job, but then you can train people. You can develop something and, share it and sell it or market it or put the price on it. And then it becomes something for you. And then you employ people to manage it for you. That's business. So business isn't ultimately buying and selling all the time.
Yeah.
You create something and then, you have a round table thing and the idea blows and then it evolves and then, you're making money from it. Even that, there's still people in that field that will know a lot better than you do, that you can connect with and learn from. You can't downplay or overemphasize the importance of knowledge and learning.
Yeah. So identifying a mentor, someone that's an expert in that field, that's already done this, been there, done this and learned, so you can learn from the person.
100%.
That's critical to your own, and you advise that everyone should actually have that person in your corner.
A personal
that we
one.
always, you always want to just share your thoughts with.
This is not a spiritual father that you wake up at 4:30 a.m. and be praying with. This is somebody that is rooted,
in that business.
Have the knowledge,
But does he have to be in that business, or can just be an entrepreneur, like you mentoring someone that is?
So it's around there. So if you're connected to somebody within your field, then all the intricacies, all the secrets, a lot of the things that you probably aren't aware about, or it may take you longer to be aware about, as what you get.
Okay.
So across board, maybe from a different sector to another sector, you will get the basics. You get the underlying things. Like they'll tell you, oh, they're relentless, be doing this, be doing. That's all they can tell. You would have to almost share your story in a way, but then even they would only be able to interpret it, with the basics. But if it is somebody within the field, they will tell you, forget, this thing happened to me 2 years ago. This is what happened. Same thing that will happen to you, and this is what I did. Oh, I got this, I got that, I got that. Even that, you say, oh yeah, if this is about what is happening to you, I'll give you somebody that would help you because somebody had helped them before. That's the difference.
Okay. That's so. How as you said in mentorship. So what about in business? What are the things you think has helped you to scale? Yes, you said mentorship. What other things? What are like want to look at identify like 3-4 things that have helped you to scale out on mentorship? Something that things like around structure. What other things do you think that has helped you? Because
for me,
beyond just
you have to be able to have visions that are beyond what you have right in front of you. I don't know if that makes sense. Because we're talking scaling in terms of growing your business and making it bigger, right? At some point, we had our place. But then even at that, when we started, the main cash and carry started from like a 3,000 plus square foot. But when I was signing the lease, I said, I wasn't going to sign any more than 3 years in this because I believed so much that once people connect with us and once people see our value proposition, they'll bring many and more to us, which means that at some point we need a big building. By our second year, we had to move. Now, when we were doing that, our suya, we're only doing it on a Saturday because we didn't have space. We could just put a drum outside the building and then do it on a Saturday, and then people will come in and all that. But then I'm always like, why would I only just be restricted to wanting something and being able to have it once a week? Again, remember when I said that I'd come back from London and people are saying, I need this, I need that. I said, oh, I've come back. You're not going to get it until next week when I go again. It's the same thing with that. And I was like, why should people only eat suya on a Saturday? So when we moved to our new premises, then we created a hub or a store where, then we had to do it to meet all the food safety standards and everything, things and whatnot and everything, right? And then people could have suya every day of the week. And it's one of those things that help, because then all of a sudden you can eat Nigerian suya here in the UK, like that, just because you come shopping. And then, on your way out, on your way in, you order your suya, and then you go home with it. Now, interestingly, I sat there one day, this is still very recent, and I sat there and said, this is just becoming stagnated. Suya is suya, yeah, what else? And I think, how about shawarma, right? And everybody loves shawarma because I would still go to the cheapy shop and I'll buy sausage and thingy and all that, right? And I'm thinking, here are Nigerians are coming in droves. What else can we do to scale that up, right? And then we introduced shawarma, went into the suya spot, measured data, looked at all the equipment that we need, and then we fitted it in, right? And the suya spot, for example, we only have 2 staff and they will work concurrently the other day. Right now, we have 4 staff, actually 4 or 5, that are working in that spot just because we introduced shawarma. So in itself, then being able to impact and give somebody a chance to a livelihood here in the UK. And that for me is some kind of scaling where just out of the blues like that, and what people will queue now, they want shawarma, people come, they buy 5 wraps, 6 wraps, and then they go home with that. The place where we have our restaurant, Empress now, used to be a packaging room, a dumping ground. And I said, this is always just putting me in trouble with the council. What's that? Can this be turned into money? And I'm thinking, what's that? Okay, men they don't like come shopping, but they bring their wives that sat in the car. Their wives will go into the shop and they buy and they'll stay there 1 hour. They see their friends, they're gisting. What can I do for that lonely man that's sitting there in the car? I sell suya outside. Why don't I just start a place? I call it like a beer parlor I would do in Nigeria now. Where once you're waiting for your wife, just come, open a bottle of Star and then whatnot. That idea has become a restaurant that now employs probably over 15 people. That idea alone has given birth to the ready meals that we have that are in shops approved by the local authority. Mm-hmm. And now when I'm ready, I can take it to Sainsbury's tomorrow. I can take it to Morrison's, but I'm not ready yet because I've not overcome the African market with it. That in itself has given birth to now an exclusive luxury event catering service, just for saying this is a space that is always putting me in trouble. What can I turn it into? And you can see what it's giving birth to, right? Suya has gone from 2 staff to 5 staff. The packaging room, beer parlor has gone from me, madam, and somebody else to about 15 plus staff. And that's what you have to be able to, even within what you start, how do you evolve?
How do you evolve?
You have to be able to, your mind have to be able to, to think these things. You have to be able to dream it. You have to almost be after value. Like, so what's that thing that's going to make you want to come back tomorrow? Right. That is going to be exciting for you.
That feedback. There are quite a number of questions popping in from everywhere now.
Okay.
So there's quite a number of questions I wish I would kind of run through them. So let me just start from the questions. Number one says, what's the most challenging? Just give us answers to some of the quick questions first. What's the most challenging for him as an entrepreneur? And another one says, how long did it take you as a business? How long were you to start being profitable? How long did it take you? 10 years, 5 years, 3 years? So can you answer those 2 questions? We have quite a number of questions.
Okay. Talent. At the beginning, it was staffing. Staffing was an issue.
Staffing.
It was a nightmare. You couldn't. A lot of things we had to do by ourselves. Like I said,
so that you couldn't afford them. You couldn't afford. Is it the quality of staff, or was it you couldn't afford?
So we were a niche. We're a niche market, right? It's an African market, and then now the borders opened up. People can come in, student visa, spouse visa, all of those things. Then we didn't have anything like that. Even people that were students, it's always been 20 hours. It's never enough.
Yeah.
And if not, then you have to employ Europeans, and then you then have to teach and teach and teach before they get used to it. And I think we've got lucky a little bit And people, if there are people on this call that are probably not known since we started, one of our very first chairman was a Romanian that could not even speak one sentence of English. And we just had to adapt and find ways for him to connect with customers. So yeah, staffing was always an issue. And then also acceptance, you're still you're still a black-owned business.
Yeah,
that everything else around you, I've raised questions before, even to the authorities, where I've asked, like, okay, is it a different set of rules for me in this space? Because I can name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Subtle bias.
Yeah, exactly. I can name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 businesses around me here that are doing certain things that get away with it. But then you're my case like this for this and all that. Not because we don't want to be regulated or we don't want to be responsible, but it's going to be a fair playing ground. So it was never a fair playing ground for us. So we have to do a lot more than everybody else. I'll just end that question on this note. Right on our same street, there's a cafe owned by a white-owned cafe, right? That doesn't have an extractor. And I'm not sorry to say this because it's the truth. It doesn't have an extractor, right? So when you walk past it, the sausage, the eggs they are frying, you can smell it, right? Add to the restaurant and the catering kitchen that we had on there, extraction alone, we spent over £15,000. We had to do extraction. The one in Empress right now, we have to go from the kitchen up the first floor, up to the roof to do extraction system there. Meanwhile, 1 block from us, there's a business there that doesn't have one, and it's operating a 5-star rating. It took us a very long time to even get our own 5-star. So again, all of those things.
So those bias, they are always there.
Oh,
you have to expect it.
Systemic bias.
Yeah, systemic bias.
So this other question was, sorry, the second question was what?
It was, how long did it take you to break to start having a profitable business?
So to be honest, I'd gladly tell you that by the second year at most, and simply because what we had then was a viable business, was a business that was needed. And that was why I said that it's always very important. See, when you put yourself out there and then you create a business that is valuable, that is required and is needed, is seen to a particular need, it won't take you long to break it.
Okay. Someone is asking a question around so you said mentorship. So what are you also thinking of mentoring other people?
I do, to be honest, I do that readily. To be honest, when some people come to me, I'm like, I'm sorry, if you cannot put all your cards on the table, then you can't talk to me. Because I get very intrusive when it comes to matters like that, because I'm always very critical about why you want to do what you want to do. So there are questions I'm going to ask you that if you're not... The question
is, let me just be specific. Do you have a mentorship scheme to support aspiring business owners?
Not yet. That one is another. That's a different venture. That's even a venture on its own.
That's a venture on its own.
Because you still need resource. We wouldn't want to give you half baked information and all that. So we have to research. We'll have to take different scenarios, different situations and everything, and make sure that the guidance and everything that we give is on the money, and we can get.
We do the informal mentorship.
Yeah, informal, almost free of charge when you're just on my phone. But if you get me out building now, you pay me.
Someone is asking, I know you mentioned, but I think it wasn't very detailed. Asking, what's the criteria for registering your business?
Again, you need an entity, right? Because when it comes to your financials, so when you do your company accounts, when you do all of those things, it's an entity that will represent you. So what that means is you can say, I am ABC company, but if you want a brand, then it's got to be a sort of another name where you then go, okay, ABC, whatever, trading as this. So we are NCT Enterprises Limited, trading as Sammy's also, but we're trading as a lot of things. Trading as Sammy's Online, trading as this, trading as that, Sammy's Express and all of that. Trading as part of Africa Foods and everything. So that one entity is key. It can be anything. It can be vague. It can be just you need to incorporate a company, right? And within that company, then you can make your business out of it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the first step you need to do.
So do you need like a lawyer to do that for you, or
No,
how?
just do how to register a company. It's there now. £20, £14, something like that. Don't go and collect lawyer and you collect your money.
You just go online, do it yourself.
Go online, do yourself how to register a company in the UK, and you'll be there. So you first get the Companies House website. You can register through the Companies House itself. And there are companies that are there, one filing and all that. Look at the package. Don't go and do plenty package. They open bank account for you. They like, you can do Tide now. Online. You can even open bank account with SwapMoney. That's unpaid advert. That'll be for you. Open a bank account. Somebody will give you bank account. And then all of that, you can do it yourself. There's everything you can do on the palm of your hand. You can register a business account, a personal account, any one of these internet banks now. You can do it just to get yourself going so that you limit the amount of sort of expenses that you get yourself involved. Registering a company in UK right now is less than £25, and you don't need all that package. They'll tell you free website, or you go to GoDaddy. GoDaddy will give you $9.99 for 2 years or 3 years if you sign. And then you have a website, maybe just put all information on there. But register a company first as an entity, and then you can build your business from that entity. Because again, when you're looking at identity, when you're signing up for requests, when you're making all that moves, people need to be able to search and check you out and see who you are. If you're legitimate and if you're valid. If you're not, they're not going to do business with you.
So I just took what you just said now. The website is important. You don't need an external person to register your business for you. Just go on how to register your business and do it by yourself. £20. GoDaddy gives you £9. So just like as easy as possible. It's just there's nothing like looking for a lawyer to go and register it for you to get it done. So I have a couple of questions around I think questions are just popping, but I think we just take some before we end this. So I have a question around supply chain. Someone is asking, how do you manage supply chain challenges? And well, we know you earn in pounds, but how do you manage? Because Nigerian buying things, how do you manage supply chains across? Because it's not just Nigeria now. You even you buy things, you do things around the world. And so how do you manage supply chain? What are the like 3 tips you share with us that we can just follow around supply chain?
So as you grow, right? So personally for us, we everything that we sort of started with, we started locally. So again, I call it baby steps, right? Where you get some people into they start something, they want to go and bring in a container. It's not a problem. Go and bring your container. But even before we did our own first container, I think we've done 2 years or 3 years in the business. We were fine, just trading locally. And then just buying from here and doing that. And then work your margins because numbers don't lie, and all that. And we did that. And as we sort of evolved and grew, obviously we needed to branch out and we needed to be more in control of what we put out there so that we were competitive. Because if you're still sort of having to buy from people all the time, then you're still not going to be that competitive. So, but in terms of that, I think there are different elements to it. Sometimes when you get into business and you have your traction, even you start getting people wanting to connect with you. Because there are people all over the world. They're looking for all the goods that they manufactured and created in their own part of the world. They're looking for where to sell it. So we've had a lot of leads where we just get an email. Right now, I'm buying from Turkey, and somebody just sent us an email saying that, oh, would you this? But then, for example, there was a time this year, last year-ish, we will struggle to buy a pallet of water because when you go to this one, they say, oh, we don't have, or we only have 1 pallet, we can't give you, we'll give you 5 cases. What's 5 cases? It's not even going to fill our fridges. Or you go to these other places, they said, oh, they don't have anything else. And they just reached out to us and said, oh, we're looking to come into the UK with our products. What do you think? I said, okay. Yeah, and again, do we have the capacity? Yes, we do. Can we buy a truckload of water right now? Yes, we can do. And I said, okay, send us a sample. 2 or 3 days after, we got a sample of the water. I shared it out. You like the water? Does it have taste? Does it have aftertaste? It doesn't have aftertaste. Supply order. We've done 2 shipments of that container of water in this year alone. and it's just what, like 24, 25 pallets or what, I just not there. But we're fine because now I don't have to go begging for water from anybody,
Mm.
And then sometimes also you reach out to people because then you know that for what you need and for what you want, you kind of have to go direct and, source this business yourself. I've done a lot of travels. Our spices now, I've been in India, I've been in Ecuador, I've been in Colombia, I've been in most continents in the world, just going there to source products. And again, because then that sort of solidifies and helps your supply chain because availability is key. When you're readily always having things available to supply and to give people would always come to you.
Yeah. Someone is asking a question around, foreign exchange. How has it impacted on your, how has it played in your books, considering you buy from an unstable market?
Interesting. So
And someone is asking again, are you open to franchising? So there are two ways to.
we are now, actually. So I'll do the franchising first. Because so when we started as Sammy's also cash and carry. But then for me, because of the passion and the mind behind what we do, when I see businesses and the way they conduct and how they do business themselves. So for example, there's a time that we had a lot of people owing us money and they were closing shops and we were losing a lot of money. And I said, I don't even understand. What if we create mini us and just put us in different cities and towns? And then that's when we came up with the whole idea of the Sammy's Express, where we just become end-to-end. We buy the products. If I have 5, 10 stores all over the UK, I don't need all these shops that are giving us headache. And maybe we'll go from there. And then we started with a pilot, two other ones in Birmingham. And then I had a young guy, a friend of a cousin, a friend's cousin, just came out of university. He said, oh, he's thinking of starting an African food business and whatnot. I said, no worries. You want a franchise? I'm testing the market with this. So I gave him a franchise in Loughborough, Sammy's Express, Loughborough. My brother is in Northampton, so he runs the franchise of Sammy's also, right? And so we did that. But then, all the logistics and everything surrounding franchise. By the time I got into it, I think franchise sometimes can be a ripoff because your franchisor, and I'm not discouraging you if you want to franchise, but I'm not going to go down that lane. As a franchisor, I will take your gross. I'll take a percentage of your gross, whether you make money or not. And that for me, I can't go to bed with that. And then we take royalty and all those kind of things. For me, your business will be a fledgling business. We need to see it through. We need to see it grow first. So my own passion would be that you grow, you succeed, and you do well. That could take maybe another 2-3 years or thereabouts. So if
you're not open to franchising for now.
There's a different. I have a different approach to it. So whoever is interested, we can talk about.
So somebody can reach you out to, if somebody has that, like somebody can reach out to you.
Trust me, I can tell you right now that there are requests for franchise from Canada. There are requests for franchise from Maryland. There are requests for franchise in Exeter. But I think I've got about 5 or so requests for franchise now. But I'm considering it now because I think in my last sort of conversations, I've said that now we're ready to take over the world and we're ready to be global in what we do. And one of the ways that we'll be able to do that is through franchise, through opening up more of ourselves all around the world. So yes, I'm open to franchising, but it's not going to be the neck-breaking, suffocating way that franchising model is done. You're going to be in control of your financials. You're going to be in control of anything that's just a little bit of here and there that we'll probably want for ourselves. Maybe just our core products, and that's it. But everything else is not too much of a big deal for us. So yeah, we're open to it now. So I can have conversations about it. But very key and very important about it is in terms of the model of it, I'm going to say from the get-go, if you haven't got the funds, then it's going to be tricky. The reason why I say that is the business has sort of evolved, any business, even at that. So in our line of what we do, we wouldn't be categorized as a startup, right? So which means that from the get-go, from what you're going to do, I'll break it down. I'll say to you, if you want a
So how
small,
much do these funds? Because somebody's even asking a question around funding. So
so
how much
that's what
how much do the person need?
so that's just what I'm about to say now. So if you're
Mm,
talking about a typical small shop, a corner
yeah.
shop on the high
You
street,
just start. I just want to start.
just start.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by start is 4 or 5 freezers, 4 or 5 rolls or whatever, check out counter, all those things you want to know. And you want to really, the first person that comes into your
Four,
shop,
five freezer is a start.
no, don't worry, I'm calm down. So for somebody to walk into your shop and say, oh, wow, that's nice. Oh, this is where I'll be coming to right now. That sort of scale now, you're going to be looking for, and then with your initial stock and everything, you're going to be talking some close to about 40-50 grand.
That's
40,
a lot.
it is a lot because of stock. You see, there's the one thing that drives our business, and that is stock and availability. You know, even in our own space right now, what we call cash flow for us is in our stock, and we have a lot of it. Because right now we have to supply our main store that has daily at least over 600 to 700 footfall.
So with 10,000 pounds, you can't just start the business and
you
make
cannot.
small connection.
If you call me, I say you have 10,000 pounds, say, thank you very much. Come back next year. That's why I said that.
That's quite scary.
No, it's not. No,
for someone that's starting a business.
Remember.
Perhaps maybe what's the access to funds, finance? That's even another question.
Somebody's asking. Before we go there, remember what I said. I said that when it comes to me and what I do, I can be a bit upfront and intentional, because I don't want you to waste your time, and I don't want you to have false hopes. And the reason why I said that,
make profits.
See, that 10,000 alone, you will spend it on fixtures and fittings.
Oh, okay.
Because when you're putting things together like that, you need a physical store. You're talking about tills, you're talking about baskets, you're talking about trolleys, you're talking about the shelves, right? You're talking about security camera, you're talking about insurance, business insurance, you're talking about whoever you're going to go and collect a shop from right now, it's going to take 3 months rent deposit from you. So for example, if your rent is £1,000, by the time you sign that lease and you collect the key, you have to drop £3,000 first. They will go and hold it, right? So you look at that and you look at that. And then, I'm not kidding you, for you to have an adequate stock, that will be enough. So for every single product that you have, that you need the big bags, 4 kg thereabout, you need about 4 or 6 to start with. The 1 kg, you need 5 to 10. And then this one case of that, you need about 12 or 24 dozens of each. You want to buy Indomie alone. Do you understand? You're talking about an average small shop should have nothing less than 1,000 individual products.
1,000?
1,000 individual.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's what makes the business what
that's
it is.
What makes it a store.
That's what, because then you've got to realize this, that if people come into your space and you can't give them almost everything they want, they have to leave there and go somewhere else, right? Yeah, if they go somewhere else, so for example,
they won't come back.
Yeah, an Asian shop that we all know that they are always loaded to the teeth, to the roof. Yeah. They'll go there, they find it, they're not coming back to your shop. So when you're starting out, you've got to play yourself. You have to position yourself enough that people would even respect your hustle. It's a small.
Someone is agreeing to what you said. He said, "I agree to stocking it. I only go to place shops where I can find everything I want."
Because there's no time. Is this somebody that I've just begged their neighbor that can I keep Anthony with you? Let me just quickly go and buy something. They will say, you are coming with your wallet again. You can't do that. So the time that you have has got to be, you've got to, people, we all manage our times very well. So yeah, £10,000 you can't. It's not going to happen. Forget story. So I'm just, if I play modest, right, you're talking 25, 30,000, right? But then if you then go a bigger shop, maybe you don't want to have a butcher space. When you do that, you're talking about cold rooms, because you don't have to hold stock. You have to do all of that. Yeah. So you're looking at the upward of 50K plus, right? ultimately. But then when you then say, okay, I want to go to a warehouse, we didn't start with that, right?
Yeah. You mentioned.
I could tell you, but then when we opened the first cash and carry, because I was already trading, I already had
Yeah.
like lines. I already had like people like Addis that were supporting.
We were stocking.
I was already buying. I was opening shops in Birmingham to buy. So I'll take them to London. They go to this big place. They'll buy and shop and everything. So I had connect. So I went into them and everything else, right? And I was already buying little and sending them. So over time, I sort of could take £1,000 goods, £2,000 goods to bring back, and I'll pay them again because I was a good payer. So it wasn't difficult for me to get credits, And again, when you register a business and you do your financials, a lot of people, if you're here, they will tell you in the UK, don't pay tax. So you gotta pay tax because there's a time where you will read the reward. Do your books, pay your taxes, give unto Caesar what Caesar's. Because at a point, you will need that credit. At a point, you need the facility. If your books are not in green, nobody will borrow you money. Even when you do your books, even if it's £1,000 or £2,000 you want to pay in tax. But then again, you all start from the journey of what you build by not trying to hide your business because you don't want to pay tax. Register a business because the HMRC will come and say, we see that you registered your business 1 year. 1 year has come, you have to file your account in the next 9 months. If you're profitable, do your account, be profitable, because people will give you get credit cards, you get funding, you get bank loans, you get everything on the back of the fact that you can present a profitable company. You don't have to trade in loss for 3 years and 4 years before you start declaring profit, because when you start declaring profits, you're still not profitable, because then all the minus you have, your plus will fail. So even if you have minus like minus 50 that way, and then when you then start becoming, the first year you become plus 20, you're still minus 30. Second year you become 20, you're minus 10. So you've done 5 years of minus. Before you catch up and become profitable, that's another 4 years on top of it. Why? Because you don't want to pay tax. Please pay your tax and it will be well with you.
Okay, so you're saying that whether or not you're transacting, for instance, register a business. I just want to take baby steps. I know you started trading. Let me just register my business now. After 1 year, you now start showing your books. You start declaring to HMRC. You don't have anything to show now.
No. You do though, because if you've traded for a year, right? I'm not saying entirely that yes, indeed, you'll be profitable or not.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that when you are and when you can be and do the right thing, because there's a way that when it comes to when you need it, and that's why they say give unto Caesar what Caesar's. You see, the people that are running this part of the world, they're not stupid. They give, they take, they give, they take. It's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about how you can access funds.
Yeah.
And then if you're a trader or if you're going into business that is into goods and services, you need credits. If your books can't show that, okay, they can trust you, if your books can't show that you're low risk rather than high risk, you're not going to get credit, which means that you're going to struggle for funds, because it's not everything that is cash flow. A lot of what you do is supported by, people that can give you 28 days or that can give you 14 days. And trust me, sometimes when you're that profitable, you become bullish in the marketplace. What you say to me, who I am, go and check my books. Go and check me out. My head is there. And they say, hey, problem. So there's a level of confidence that you exude, and you can trade, you can negotiate, you can talk to anybody because you know that you're solid and you're founded. With that, and then again in terms of scale, and the reason why I say that is I've seen it. I've seen people start really like, okay, I don't have, this is what I have. And I'm like, sometimes I've said to somebody before, I said, do you know that directly or indirectly, I'm still your competitor, right? So whether you're in Dudley or you're in Walsall and whatnot, people are going to drive past your shop and come to Sammy's in Birmingham. And that's a fact, because Sammy's has it all.
Everything.
Now, Sammy's then didn't start last year when you started, which obviously is not a shame as it were, but that's your reality. So when you're in a space, you've got to understand what the reality is, and you've got to understand what you're competing with. So sometimes it's not about, and I can only really talk about my space. And if you come to me and say, you want to be in my space, where it is, I'm just going to give it to you, ha. what it is. Because you come into a business space, you're starting with 10,000. As I said, even your fixtures are fitting 10,000. Before you can put a good enough amount of stock in that place, enough for people to come back, you're looking at least £30,000 worth of goods. And I'll tell you what £30,000 means. If you come to Sammy's tomorrow and you're saying, I want to shop for a week, your trolley, you're going to spend £150 to £200. Divide that by £30,000. Then multiply by the number of people you expect to come to your shop weekly.
Mm.
So indeed, and then you have to service them, right? You can't then have, it will shock you. Shoppers site. If you have a product, right? If you have 12 of it on the shelf, first person comes picks it, second person comes picks it, top piece it, they'll keep buying it. They say, go. If that product remains two, that two will be there for the next 2 weeks. Nobody will buy it.
Yeah, I agree.
So what that means
I don't pick it too.
Exactly. So that you restock it back. It's money that will enable you restock it, or it's money that you would have to have put in. And when you start a business, fortunately or fortunately, except you have somebody that can guarantee you, people will most likely not give you credit, because they will say you have to trade with us for 6 months, you have to trade with us for 1 year. So that's where that money is coming from, where it's not only the fixtures and fittings that you want to set up, you also need your initial stock money that you have to take and say, okay, no problem, I'll do business with you. And when I buy you, you can do one of, if you have for me, a lot of people come to us, and from day one, we kind of just said, that's fine. But I'll say to you, I'll give you 7 days or 14 days. Please don't fail, because it will be painful for me to say to you, no, it's not going to happen again. And once you come and deliver on it, then we'll do that. I've had people that have said to them, there's a gentleman, he's coming to say, I'm starting. I said, no problem. Then he came, I saw his project. I'm like, what's that for? I said, for my shop. I said, for who? He said, what's this going to do for you? When you come in and then people are bought, this one person buys that one, you have 2 or 3 of it. Are you saying that you're not expecting 10 people? What if the 10 people want that same one item and you only have 4 of it? Then it means that the first 4 are the ones that are going to buy it. The remaining 6 now are going to come in and go again. Don't be like that. Okay, take more. What do you need? Hey, are you sure? And I gave him land of 5K. And then I increased it to 10,000. And then he went on like that. I'm not kidding you. 2 years or thereabout, the man went and completed his house in his own town. And then again, you need that sort of, and that's how the kind of money or the funding in this day and age, right? 10 years ago, you can start a business with maybe 10,000 and a bit of goodwill there and there. But these days, it'll be difficult because there's a lot of competition. Even on Instagram right now, you can just put few things in your garage, in your shop. If you see some people,
that's even where I'm going to right now, because someone is asking a question about online. There's Sammy's online. So yes, someone asked a question, said the person is commending you to say, I moved to Milton Keynes and I still stock up from Sammy's online. That's something unique about them. Someone is saying, have you considered joining the likes of Deliveroo? And another question around online business. Someone is asking a question around, so with all of these things you've said about stocking, why are you not considering online? Will you support someone starting an African store online like yours? What do you think about that?
I'll give you a testimony. There's a lady in a town. She started, I'm not kidding you. So the person went and registered. So we have a trade website. So apart from our physical store for retail, we have the B2C Sammy's online retail website, and then we have part of Africa.
At least you don't need the fixtures and the fittings for the online store.
No, you don't. But even for us, we have to, because our online is a different business now. We literally have about 6 to 7 staff working Monday to Friday in that department. He has his own cold room, he has his own freezers, he has his own shelves, he has his own stock because of the volume that we do. Again, you could do that from your garage. I have a customer in Guernsey. Guernsey is Isle of Man, and they buy products from us and they sell online. It goes. There are people right now. If we have 50 traders that are trading with us right now, probably about 10 of them are online traders. And what that means is they buy from us and then they sell.
And they go and resell.
and everything. And some of them just have their Instagram pages and they sell through there. So yes, indeed, with the online space, you can do that. We have the Amazon and all that. I think the other question attached to that, I can't remember now, with the online
delivery.
So with the delivery, delivery takes 30% gross commission.
So it's not profitable for a business.
No. Right now, we would average a margin of about 35 to 40% on some of our products, especially the ones that we buy from, the ones that we bring in and do all of that.
Can't take all of these questions.
We have higher margin on it.
Yeah.
So, I revel in times like this. I said to one of your people, I said, when conversations like this start, it's not a 30 minutes conversation. And what I'm happy to be here again, just to answer people's questions and then shed whatever light that needs to be shed. And once I finish, I'm going to eat my pounded yam and go and sleep. But sorry, where were we? Delivery.
Yeah, delivery. You said it was not a profitable business.
So when you're operating the baseline of about, even there are some products that, because of what they are, like something like rice now. Rice, I can't have 25% on rice. It's not possible. You will not be able to buy it. So we have really low on some side and we really have a size of that. But when you say average 35, 40%, and then somebody will come, because I'm using their platform, they already collect 30% from me. We're on our restaurant, we're on Deliveroo and Uber Eats and all that, and it's a pain. I can't even share with you how much you collect from us every week. I worked it out, right? And I said there was a time that we really pushed and said, and then I reinvented our website. We went on another platform that let's do our, and that was what brand. Let's do our deliveries ourselves. Because I worked it out. With what we pay Deliveroo and Uber Eats, I can buy 2 cars, yeah, employ 2 staff, and I will still not pay as much as we pay.
You're paying for the brand. Some is you're paying for the brand.
Trust me. We said pay
the reach that they have.
Yes, now you say pay restaurant price, because we can't even put 20% where they take 30%, right? If we put 30% that they are putting on the food that you buy from the restaurant, you can't buy the food. But we say, okay, let's just go about 15, 20% just to make up something. If I buy 2 smokers, employ 2 drivers, we will not pay as much in expenses as what we're paying Deliveroo and Uber Eats today. And we did that. We said, we put flyer in the bag that is going to Deliveroo, say 5% of pay restaurant price. They lie. We have packed it up. They are too powerful. So they can do that with the restaurant and everything else because there's a bigger margin on the food and everything that you cook. But with groceries, no chance. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have a platform that, they turned unicorn or they raised a lot of money and they have money to burn and they are happy to offer us maybe 5% in terms of commission and everything else, and they can do the delivery, yes, why not? But delivery will buy it. No, thank you very much.
All right, I think we have 2. We can't take any more questions again at this time. Just going to be rounding up. Thank you so much, Samis, for your question. I think just one last question. Someone is asking a question around, I know it's not in your industry, but it's something around property. Someone is asking that if you want to start a business in property, and what are the things, can you register in the same way you register for a property business? Is it the same process, whatever business you want to do?
So it's the same thing.
Property like or said, same process as you just mentioned.
Like I said, the whole point of registering a business is just to be an entity, is to have an identity that people can relate to. Because, like, for example, trust is built on the identity and the personality and everything that you put behind it. So if you're a ghost and somebody wants to search for you or look for you or say, oh, this investment business or development something, and there's nothing historical about you in terms of you're incorporated or you have something they can look at, nobody's going to trust you to do what you're doing. So again, it's just crucial. If you want to go right, if you want to sort of just throw a certain line of, this is me, I believe in what I'm doing, I believe that I'm going to make something of this. Then from the get-go, just do it right. And again, in that regard, it's in identifying. Well, if you want to go into the property business as it were, what do you want it for? Do you want to build a portfolio? Do you want to make quick money? Is it long term? You have to have understanding of that. If not, you're just going to be flapping all over the place and like a headless chicken, and eventually you'll be frustrated. So it's just key that you understand exactly really what you want to do and what you want to achieve.
All right, Samis, thank you so much. I have learned a lot. So you'll be my mentor if I want to start my business. So I'm your first mentee from this.
See what you're doing,
Very
swap
much.
money. There's money attached to your name.
It doesn't matter. So thank you so much I've learned. It's quite rich, it's quite informative. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure everybody here would definitely have learned a lot from you. You shared your journey, you shared some of the lessons. We couldn't take all the questions, it's quite a number of questions, but we'll do this again, and we invite you again to join us on this. It's Swap Money webinar series. We'll be doing quite a number of series in this. This is just the first one, and Samis has graciously giving us some insight on it, and we know that there's so many things that we'll still be sharing that will help us. Just so before I end this call, SwapMoney is doing a promo this month, in the month of November, where you can refer 5 people and get £100. If you go on our social media pages, there's more details on it at SwapMoney UK. So you can just join us on SwapMoney UK, and just go on our Facebook, on Instagram. Actually, the link should be on the chat right now, so you can just join us and get more insights. And when we have more webinars, we always share on those platforms. Thank you very much. We're supposed to end this at 8:15, but we're ending at 8:30. Thank you so much. I had a great time. I'm sure you did. You sure did have a great time. Samis, thank you so much, Mr. Akonde. We'll call you again next time. We need.
No worries. Before you
have anything to say to our the last, just round up to say to
yes.
everyone here.
So everybody on the call, thank you very much for coming. I'm very passionate about development in terms of growth, in terms of connection and community. Swap Money people, they have my details. Even our details, guys, very easy to get. Anybody, whatever it is at all. If there's any questions, anything you want to know, anything you want us to get involved with, please reach out. We'll do everything we can within our resources and our power to help and support each other. We're stronger together, and we need to be united to do great things. Ultimately, let's go out there, dream it, see it, do it. You can do it. The world is for the taking, and it's out there. Let's go and take it. Thank you. All
right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and have a great evening and the rest of the week. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.